protected from all sides with mountains to the north and the west, ocean to the south, and tropical rainforest to the east. South Asia has been a place where distinct civilizations formed without disruption. Their first civilization begins on the banks of the mighty Indus River. A westward expansion of farmers from the Zagros Mountains in Iran occurred in 2000 HE. Our ancestors settled in what is now eastern Pakistan, likely mixing with the indigenous inhabitants. Farming villages began to multiply in the area, growing wheat and herding goats, and slowly, over the next 5,000 years, these groups dispersed across the Indus River Valley, bringing agriculture with them. Agriculture here required minimal labor and no irrigation due to the rich soils and wide dispersal plain, and so towns quickly emerged behind powerful fortifications. This is Ancestoria, the Great Indus. As populations exploded, thousands of settlements grew to cover the land. A common culture spread throughout the massive territory, making it vastly different from the Sumerian civilization. It was a patchwork of regional leadership, knitting together a huge society, encompassing up to 3 million people at its peak in 8000 HE. To fuel the rising population, farmers had to remove more of the forest in order to plant more crops. There have been 5 major cities discovered here, and each were rebuilt multiple times as floods were a tremendous danger to begin with, but the destruction of the forest only caused them to grow more intense. A constant struggle occurred between our ancestors and what seemed to be the wrath of the gods. They cooperated on a titanic scale, building more and more flood barriers to break the flow, requiring vast numbers of residents and efficient leadership to survive in this merciless land. One of these great cities, Mohenjo Daro, housed a population of nearly 40,000 at its peak. It was built around 7500 HE, towering atop a 12-meter tall mound and is surrounded by walls. Water procurement and sewage systems are abundant and quite advanced, meaning that hygiene was highly valued among these people. Moreover, all households had access to these systems, which is indicative that they were also quite egalitarian, and possibly that the riches weren't too far above the poorest. Although some houses were more spacious than others, the economy seems to be based on a central command economy, where goods were traded domestically through official means. The Indus settlements were well diversified with many different artisans and merchants. The Sumerians imported many products from the east. One of their major trading partners was the Indus Valley Civilization, what they called Maluha. From them, they obtained numerous materials and products unattainable in Mesopotamia. The high presence of Indus seals in Mesopotamia may denote that the Indus people were the masters of this trade network, developing standard weights and measures to regulate exchanges. Public buildings rise above on the summit of the mound, likely indicating that administration was key to the civilization. In stark contrast to the pharaohs of Egypt, the rulers of the Indus civilization were rather anonymous. Few leaders have been found to have left a record of their appearance, and there is no evidence of great monuments, gilded palaces, militant displays, or even temples. There is a great bath, but it is believed to have been a communal building. The Indus Valley Civilization appears to be a powerful symbol of altruistic human cooperation. Not even 10% of the settlements have been excavated, and so the story of the Indus Valley could change drastically. But as of now, it gives the impression of our ancestors attempting to overcome the fury of nature, staking our claim to exceptionally fertile lands no matter the cost, while also living in an economically equal society with strong communal leadership. Moreover, nothing discovered thus far has indicated any war occurred until the decline of their civilization. This is likely because they were protected from outsiders by natural barriers, and the society was prosperous enough to breed a culture without intense jealousy or competition. Nevertheless, even great civilizations are susceptible to the winds of change. In 8300 HE, they suffered a rapid decline, possibly due to disastrous changes to the environment, causing a major river, the Sarasvati, to disappear, which in turn put enormous strain on the entire system, causing it to descend into a battle over increasingly scarce resources, and soon enough, mysterious horse lords appeared on the horizon. This is Ancestoria, the history of our ancestors.